Thank you very much, Tahita. And hello, everyone. Looks like we got a great group. Shonique, Nazir, Kimberly, Brianna, Aaliyah, Thomas, thank you for joining us. I know these are crazy times, so I really appreciate you guys making some time in your schedule. My name's Brad Balukjian. I teach biology here at Merit. I teach environmental management, and you can just call me Brad. Anytime you have a question, just feel free to interrupt me and ask either in the chat or on the video. And I'm here today to talk about the program that I direct here at Merit called Natural History and Sustainability. And basically, what we're all about is training people for jobs working outside in the environment. If any of you guys have ever spent any time in any of our parks in Oakland, whether that's down in East Oakland or up in the hills, Redwood Park, Chabot. There's a great park right on Merit's campus. I don't know if you're aware, called Leona Canyon. That's a beautiful trail in the woods. When it's normal, non-COVID times, I lead my class, and we do probably half of our classes outdoors in the canyon, studying trees and insects and different animals and plants. And so basically, if you're somebody that already knows that you like being outside, you like nature, this could be a great program for you. If you're someone that's not sure or you haven't had much exposure to nature, I encourage you to check it out. I'll be showing you guys just a couple of slides and a couple of videos just to get you familiar. I don't want to take too much time. And what else? So I can tell you that, having taught some of our intro biology at Merit, and I've worked with a lot of students that haven't had much exposure or experience with working in environmental studies, environmental science. And the thing that I think most students tell me that they get out of it is how much it calms us down, what a great stress reliever spending time in nature can be. And there's actually been a lot of studies by scientists that show if you just spend even 20 minutes every day outside in nature, your heart rate goes down, your level of stress hormones goes down. It just literally makes you healthier. So I always tell my students that it's the cheapest gym you can join, $0 down, $0 a month, just get outside. And it's also, though, it's not just for fun. I mean, the whole point of our program is you can make a living out of this. And that's something most people don't realize, is you can have a career working in the environment. And there's a lot of good jobs out there. And that's kind of what we're here to do, is to train you for those jobs. Or if you're going to transfer to a four-year school, prepare you to transfer and then eventually get onto a career in this area. So I think what I'm going to do is just share my screen and show you guys 3 slides before I show you a couple videos. So I'm going to share. And, anyone at this point, does anyone have any questions or thoughts before I show these slides? All right. One second. Okay. So, oops. I think I'm not not the first slide. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see this. So this program, like I said, Natural History and Sustainability, it is part of our career education program at Merit. We have lots of different programs in nursing and fire science and paralegal and so forth. We're just one of those programs. And every semester we offer about 15 classes that are in different departments. So we have classes in biology, in environmental management, in geography, geology, landscape horticulture, a variety of different departments. So when you're going on to Passport and you're picking your classes, these are the departments that you'll see most of our classes located in. Oops, sorry guys. Our mission, so as I mentioned earlier, our mission is really to train students for a career, for jobs working for the environment. And that means a lot of different things. I'll talk in a minute about the different kinds of jobs that are out there. But one of our main parts of our mission is to address the equity gap, which is specifically looking at how people of color, Black and brown students have traditionally and still not been well represented in these jobs in environmental work. And it's a major problem and a major issue. And so one of the goals of our program is to address that equity gap by training more people of color for work in this field. And the sort of environmental social justice aspect of our program is we were really clear to make this front and center, so much so that one of our few core classes, we've only have a few classes that are considered like our core required classes, is taught in African American studies, and it's cross-listed with environmental management. You can see it on your screen, the number there, and it's environmental racism and justice. And so this class really looks at the historical context, how we got to where we are, all the examples of how, time and again in this country, when it comes to where we put our pollution or our toxic waste, how so often that gets dumped in areas that are predominantly lived in by people of color, and sort of the disempowerment of the Black community, the brown community, when it comes to how exposed they are to environmental toxins and that sort of thing. So we go through that history. We talk about how to address that problem moving forward. And if this is something if you take a class or two and you really get into it, we have these 3 certificates of achievement that are really credentials that help you get jobs in this field. And so we have 3 different certificates in these areas you can see, called conservation and resource management, natural history and sustainability, and urban agroecology. And I'll talk a little more about each of those in a minute. So I get it, like the question that everybody has, and it's maybe the most important question is, okay, this is great, Brad, but can I actually make a living out of this? And the answer is yes. There are thousands of jobs in Alameda County in this area. I have all those statistics if you ever want to see the data on jobs and job prospects. But just to give you a little sampling, there's a big range of jobs in this field. So it ranges from people that work in a greenhouse or a farm, working on planting crops and harvesting crops. And they may make, on the low end, an average of $17.75 an hour, all the way up to $90.42 an hour for what are called natural science managers. And these are people that are in charge of managing, say, our parks. So if you ever go to Redwood Park here near Merritt, there's somebody whose job it is to be in charge of managing that park. And those people make at the high end of the scale. And then in the middle, we have jobs like biological technician, which is somebody that might work for a park and goes out and samples the trees to make sure that the trees are growing properly, or may do a survey of the water to make sure water is clean. And they get paid about an average of $25.99 per hour. So I wanted to make it really specific so you guys get answers about what are the actual jobs? What is the pay like? Those are really important things for you to know. So if any of this appeals to you, I tell students, just try it out. We have a couple of great classes coming up in the spring that are introductory. Environment 2 and 2L, called Sustainable Environmental Systems, is one where you just it's basically an introduction to our environment and how we can live in a sustainable, healthy way moving forward, and talking about things like climate change and so forth. Biology 9, marine biology, a really fun class. Of course, in COVID, we had to do these classes online, so it's not quite the full experience, but we do the best we can to give you these classes. And both of those classes also, if you just want to transfer and you need a general education class, they both count towards different requirements in natural science or social science towards your associate's degree or your transfer requirements for general education. I just put this last slide just to show you my contact info. I'm sure Tahita can send this out as well. If you have any questions about our program, you can contact me at any time, and I'd be happy to answer that. But that's the end of my slides. So I'm going to now just show you a couple, because nothing tells this. First of all, our students tell the story much better than I do, and this is an area that's very visual. I think you need to see it to understand it. So I'm going to show you a couple of videos. I don't know if I'll show their entirety, but I'm going to show you parts of 3 different videos. One is from our urban agroecology program, which is located in the landscape horticulture part of campus. We have these beautiful gardens. And that program and those classes are really about learning how to garden and grow food in a city in a way that is sustainable. In other words, a way that's going to last forever and without depleting our natural resources. And I'm going to show you a video from our on campus, and then I'm going to show you a video from Castlemont High School, where we have a program there in the same area. And then I'll show you a video from we do a lot of field trips in this program. So I lead classes that go out to different places in the area. And the third video is from a field trip we took to this island in San Francisco Bay. It's a really fun trip. We had to charter a boat. We got to go to this island that almost no one gets to go to, called Brooks Island, to study the animals and plants there. So let me start out with the video from our landscape horticulture.
Welcome to Merritt College Landscape Horticulture Department. Right now we're in the community garden. Behind me you'll see that there are raised beds. These are for the LH501 Urban Community Garden class, which they learn how to grow from seed to harvest. So I'm Nia Hill. I'm staff, part-time instructor here at Landscape Horticulture Department. And I initially started these beds once I found out that we had a food bank. There was a need for certain kinds of produce because they get a lot of root vegetables and not so much leafy greens, which are super nutritious. And so since the space was available, I had the idea to start using this to try to grow some leafy greens. And I was able to produce some things, but not a lot. So in came environmental studies group, the agroecology class, so the ILs and then the instructors in fall. And they came in and basically upgraded these beds. They made a raised bed here, as you can see here, and down the line, hopefully the rest of these beds will be converted into raised beds. And they made it so we were able to maximize the produce that we donate to the food bank. A side note, since the food bank is closed because of the shelter in place, we were able to find a couple of volunteers that are getting the harvest from these areas and actually giving them away to folks in need. So as of last week, we had about 6 to 7 bags of produce that we were able to harvest from here. And we had a volunteer go and bring it to a couple of people that were shut in and some people that didn't have strong health. They couldn't go out and go shopping for themselves. So
okay, so I won't show the whole thing. I just wanted to show you a few minutes. Happy to send out the whole video that shows you this. So this is Nia Hill, one of our instructors and staff in the program. And she was discussing how a lot of the food in our Merritt Food Bank comes from our program here. And what you're seeing there are the different garden beds that we use to grow the different crops. So in the class, you actually go there and plant the crops and learn how to cultivate them. Okay, so that is our urban agroecology on campus. And then let me show you our partnership at Castlemont High School here.
Here we are in the garden, Castlemont High School. This garden is a student-led outdoor classroom where students come and they take class weekly. They come and manage the space. And they learn about all types of different agricultural, ecological principles. The garden is mainly a high rotation vegetable production spot with 26 beds. They're laid out along these lines and along this side, as well as a border of fruit trees that have been pretty established, have been here for quite a number of years. Oakland Leaf has been managing this space for 4 years now. We're into our 4th season, and you can see some of the efforts of rewilding with native plants, native flowers, as well as just other beneficial flowers for the animals that live nearby. One thing to notice, you see this line of eucalyptus. Back behind the garden is actually a green belt. Peralta Creek runs right through there. So we get a lot of wildlife that come through. We get frogs, raccoons, skunks, possums. I've seen hawks come into the garden and take frogs and eat them right in front of our eyes. It's a beautiful thing. We've organized this space depending on our crops that we're rotating. We have 4 different crops that we've selected. So we start.
Okay, so just give you guys a taste of our programs at the high schools. That's Matthew Linsner talking, one of our instructors, with a beautiful garden at Castlemont High. So that was part of the second video. And then the third video is from our field trip to Brooks Island we took last year. So I'll show you part of that. Let's see if I can go to full screen. Oops. Where did that go? Okay. We are going to an island. We are going to one of the most pristine and well-preserved islands in San Francisco Bay as part of a class that I'm teaching right now at Merritt called The Natural History of the Islands of California. Kind of the highlight of the class is getting to actually go out to these islands and see what makes them unique from a biological perspective.
Yeah, so today our field trip, we showed up at the Berkeley Marina around 10 a.m. It was a little chilly, a little windy, and got on the boat and took about an hour to get here, which is unexpected just because we're so close to the Bay Area. And if you look around, you can see San Francisco and Berkeley and Oakland. We're right there.
Today we're in a class called The Natural History of California's Islands. And we've been so fortunate to do one previous field trip to the Channel Islands, and today we're on Brooks Island in the Bay, and we're basically studying the biogeography of the islands in this area.
Yeah, checking out plants and birds, and saw some pelicans and osprey nest, which was amazing.
You know, we do these classroom lectures and we have PowerPoints, and it gives you a nice foundation, but nothing compares to being in the field in natural history and biology and seeing it firsthand up close for yourself.
Having been in California for a while, it's a fascinating place in its diversity, and studying the natural history kind of gives you an understanding of people's relationship to the land and also just how things have changed geologically. And it just makes like moving through this place way more fascinating.
I'm just really interested.
Okay, so I'll stop that there, and I will stop my share. So hopefully that gave you a taste of, you know, the kind of cool things we do, the places we go. And like I said, let me just put in the chat here, our website, you can read more about, or here, I'll just real quick, let me just share the screen again and show you. Here's our website. On here, you have all the details, all of our classes, you know, information you need. And I put this link in the chat so you can look at it later if you are interested. Okay, cool.
So Brad, you got a wonderful grant for one of your programs recently.
Yeah, thanks for saying that, Maria. Yeah, we just got a grant for about 30 or 40,000, I think at least, that will basically actually pay students, give stipends to students who next summer who are interested in taking some of these classes in urban agroecology. So the classes I was showing with the gardens, those classes will be, you'll get credit, and I think you get a stipend on top of it. So we'll send out more information on that when we get to next spring.
That's a great incentive.
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions anyone have, or any thoughts? Again, happy to answer anything. All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to throw it to Maria, and Maria's going to tell you how to take care of yourself, which we all need to know more about nowadays.
Yeah,
Thank you, Brad.
I think it's the little mother in me, or now the big mother in me. I've become little mother to many, many students at Merit. So I'm going to share my screen. So let me move this up. Whoops. Trying to find my part down here so I could slide it up some. Hang on just a minute. So I don't know if you know, I'm a Merritt College alum student here myself, and I started out with a lot of challenges and difficulty going through my stages of just being part of a community college. And if you're a non-traditional student like myself, someone that didn't go right to college right after high school, you tend to bring a lot of challenges with you along the way. And so I ended up getting my way through a good education track, and I'm using a lot of information from Brandman University that provided this information that I'm going to share with you today. And it is really prioritizing your self-care. I don't think we do enough of that in our lives. As you can see, these kitty cats, they really are like giving you a little hint of a message. It's like, what am I doing? And oh my God. All right, so I have a couple of quotes. One is from Maya Angelou and one is from John Shinoda Bolen. And it's just saying, as you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself and one for helping others. Because I think there's always should be a balance between, getting help for yourself, and helping others along the way, which tends to actually give you positive endorphins when you're able to do that. For Jean, when you recover or discover something that nourishes your soul and brings joy or care enough about yourself, you got to make room for it all the time. I mean, I'm not saying that coffee is a really good thing, but you make room for coffee and caffeine and all those treats and stuff. But sometimes you have to find different ways that actually nourishes your soul. And that means, taking the time out for yourself. So how to prioritize your self-care in college? Well, according to data collected by Facebook, the country as a whole has begun to, take and embrace this widespread thing of health self-care. Reading self-help books, meditating, taking milk baths and chilling to your favorite music, using sea salts in your bath, is becoming, a conversation of topic because you have to understand we're in the midst of a pandemic. We are locked in. We're COVID shelter in place. And what do you do with yourself when you're at home as a student besides stressing over what things that you can't do or need to accomplish and have very little of, but to really look around your environment to see what you could do in your own environment that can help, kind of relieve some stress, self-care. And that means, sometimes you have to go into your own zone, tap out of your external environments that kind of cause you stress. And so some people do that by their music, putting on their earbuds, closing their eyes, laying on the bed. You might not have a whole lot of space in your place, but certainly music can take you and transcend you into a different arena and environment. Just like Brad does, he gets people out of the classroom into the environment, smelling the fresh air, feeling the sunshine, checking out the plants, looking at the different colors. So those are all kind of like good, feely, touchy, and things that are free for yourself. It doesn't cost you anything to go do that. Meditation doesn't cost you to do anything. Typical self-care behaviors right now is trying to eat something that's nutritious and healthy. And I know it's expensive to eat healthy. And so it's good that if you can go to some of the places and even check in with Merit in the future about getting some additional leafy green foods and stuff, that is going to make a difference in your diet. Exercise. Even if you don't have a place and you are in an apartment or a place that's not safe, you can certainly do some exercise at home. Even sitting in your chair right now, You can stand up, you can breathe, you can meditate, you can do arm stretches, you can do a lot of things that can help you cope with your mood and stress that you go through daily. And, you know, it could be a simple thing as you even acknowledging the fact that I don't feel so great. You know, if you acknowledge the fact that you don't feel so great, it kind of gives you the notion that I need to make some change. So change is really good. So checking your level of stress is not going to be an easy thing, because some people feel stress is a way of life, but it really isn't. Stress shouldn't be something that you, how'd you call it, continually accept in your life. You know, that's something that you should discard right away. It's like, so, but there's also good stress and there's also bad stress. So good stress could be like, oh, you just heard that maybe one of your relatives is going to have a child, and you know, that's might be good stress, but it might be bad stress for her, because now she has to think about the future of what's going to happen when she has a new baby and things like that. So positive stress, you want to embrace positive stress. If somebody gives you positive stress, accept it. You know, compliments, recognitions, you know, pats on the back. Maybe somebody is like complimenting your food that you ate, and it's like some people don't know how to accept a compliment, to say, why, thank you very much. I didn't realize, you know, you really like that dish. But some little things, like, for instance, my mom says you have to appreciate the little things in life, because we take those for granted. And, you know, with the pandemic, we certainly have our test of appreciating the little things in life, to be able to not have to wear a mask one day in the future. At one point, no one ever really cared about breathing proper air, and now it's the little things. So I'm going to move forward, and we're going to talk about stress at its basis is when people feel like the demand of their lives is larger than the resources to meet the demands. So it will feel overwhelming, like certainly prioritizing time management for yourself. Some people are either early morning risers like I am, or late nights, you know, late night workers. They stay up all night long and then sleep in the morning. So however you want to prioritize your time is going to be critical to your health. So some people get up early, like I just can't sleep past 6 o'clock in the morning. And so instead of fighting that I can't sleep, past 6, I actually get up, you know, make myself my coffee that I enjoy. It's really quiet, you know, you have time to kind of like slowly move into the day. Like juggling, you know, that if you have a whole household living under you, you know that you can do some things for yourself personally while everybody's sleeping, right? So time management, when it relates to school, is going to be very different from one person to the next, because you're going to have to find time in your busy schedule that works around your family dynamics. So if everybody's up, you can't force yourself to try to study when the dynamics is taking place unless you can shut your door and have your quiet time. So you kind of have to like allow yourself to work with your family around time management. And you have to say, oh, this is when I'm on my Zoom, and this is when I'm in my virtual classroom. And so you have to ensure that everybody else in your family has something to do while you're doing your job, right? Because you're a professional student. So it's really important to carve out a moment for yourself and inform people, communicate your priority time management. Just say, hi, everybody. I'm getting ready to go into my classroom. Does everybody have everything they need? So you're checking everything. And I'll be on in this room for a good like hour. That means that you definitely need people to support you in that process. So your family, by encouraging proper communication and let people know like what you're doing on your schedule and surrounding your people with supportive people, it's going to change your dynamics and your mental health. Because it's bad enough that if you have a person that's not as supportive, is always a Debbie Downer, always complaining about, oh man, you got to go back onto your workshop, shoot, you know, we used to be able to like watch a movie together or play a video game, and now you're studying all the time. And so surrounding your people with positive people and positive reinforcement is going to go a long ways. And certainly, you know, instructors, you know, they try their best to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're doing well at home, and we're assuming you're doing well. So keep making strong connections, while you're trying to juggle multiple deadlines, keeping up and keeping in touch with your people, your friends. And that's why we don't frown upon social media sometimes, because it's your only outlet right now to kind of give you positive endorphins. So if you want to watch a funny video, or you're watching memes, or you're following a chat or something. And so you got to do whatever it takes to balance your experiences while being at home, because you don't want to go into, a state of where second guessing yourself. So find the key people in your life that make you a better person. That means that anybody who, I want to say, use the term, hates on you for doing what you're doing or moving forward, you definitely want to discard them. I mean, I think when I was in my master's, I had to tune a lot of people out. I totally didn't do it disrespectfully. I just said, I'm starting on this new pathway for myself. I've got to get some education under my belt in order to get better paying jobs, some stability for my family. And so, I'm not going to be able to, cater to your needs or help you out as much, because if you were the go-to person, guess what? You're not the go-to person anymore for anybody's, you're not going to be the big ear listener. In fact, you have to find somebody to be a listener for you for a change, just the opposite. And so, finding out, reaching out, finding that circle of friends that you can rely on, having group, what do you call it? How would you call it? A session where you create everybody in a Zoom and you say, hey, let's do a Zoom and we can all hang out together in this one Zoom and chew up, have a good talk, and maybe have a film watch together or a book read together, or even if you have to find somebody in your classroom to study together, you're still having your network of people and you still get the support that you need. So it's different kind of options for you to kind of figure out, what's the best approach for you to make sure that, you have your needs met, you're fulfilling your educational aspirations in terms of finishing that degree or transferring, being able to do something for yourself is going to go a longer way than not doing anything for yourself. And so you don't want to, allow people in your life that's going to prohibit you from reaching those goals. So sometimes you have to take responsibility for that. And I think the most important thing that you could ever have done for yourself is enroll in college, because that's going to be your outlook. That's going to be where you get to grow the most. People will understand where you're at and coming from, because they're in the same classroom. They're feeling the same pain you're feeling. They know that you have the same assignments. So align yourself with another peer in your classroom to help you along the way, so that if you ever meet and miss a date in a classroom and you miss the lecture, you can rely on that person for the notes and debriefing, and then you can do the same for the other person. So then that helps with some of your stress as a student, because you have a network of people to provide that. And then also, I would definitely, to lessen your stress as a student, is really take the time to have office hours with your professors. They themselves know the rigors of the work that they're giving you to do, and they can find kind of positive ways for you to get through your homework together, or if you don't understand something, they can clarify your work for you. And so I think your professors could be part of your circle of support. People don't see them as circle of support, but certainly as a student myself in Peralta, I relied on them. So then there's no additional stress that you're afraid that your teacher's not going to respond to you, or they're going to frown upon because you haven't been contributing in the chats, or some people are shy. But if they get to know you as a person, it's going to change the dynamics in the way they can teach you, because they can change the approach in some of the study, in the way they present their studies. So Brandon was the one that provided these kind of guidelines that I used. And as you work hard to advance your career by advancing your education, the last thing you want is to get bogged down with unnecessary stress, right? We talked about the stress. And so I want you to kind of figure out a way that you can clear that, some of the stress. Not all stress is going to go away, but you certainly can manage it. It's clear that self-care in college is one of the primary ways to balance stress and ensure overall wellness as a busy student. And so making your well-being a priority in this way can help pave the way for continued success in your educational journey and beyond. Another surefire way to curb college stress is to keep your work and life balanced, in check as you pursue your studies. So you cannot mix the two all together all at once, because I certainly had my share of it where you could be in your Zoom and then somebody on the sidebar comes to you and, you know, is like demanding all kinds of like attention, but you can't really do that. And so you have to find that that balance between, you know, your work and, you know, your family. So, but with so much on your plate at once, that can, you know, it can either easier be done with changing your focus. And, you know, school is a good thing. It's a positive thing that is going to go a long ways in the future for yourselves. But Tahita can give you my email too if you have any other questions, if you need any other assistance. I do have a master's in psychology and mediation and conflict resolution, and I am focusing on a special certificate on kind of mental health and stress for our college students. So I certainly am going to be beefing up more of my support direction for students so that they can stay on the pathway. So I just want to say thank you for, you know, taking the time. And here's the last quote: everything is within your power and your power is within you. So, you know, just when you feel down and out, you know, just remember you can make change, and you've got the power to make the change. Thank you. So, oops, where are we? I'm trying to find my way back. Is Tahita there?
Yes, I'm here. I see you. I can hear you, Maria.
Okay, so at this point, if they have any questions for me, they can ask me directly, and then we can end it, and I can close out and play one more song.
Okay, so do anyone have any questions for Maria or Brad at this time?
So are the classes for Brad, are they going to be for next semester? Is there going to be one for next semester as well?
Yeah, we offer like 15 classes every semester. So when enrollment opens next month, they'll be all on Passport. If you go to our website, there'll be a list of the classes, and then I just highlighted 2 classes that were kind of nice introductory classes that.
Yes, I might try to take one of the classes because I bought 5 plants and I don't have a green thumb, and they died, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm tired of going to YouTube and they say do this, do that, and I'm like, ah.
That's right.
All right, I'm with you, Kimberly.
So I'm gonna be looking into taking one of the classes.
Well, this was fun. I had a great time presenting, and hopefully some of these tips will kind of like spark some interest for yourself to take time out for yourself and do something special, you know, even if it's like having that ice cream you're not supposed to have, but you know, ice cream is a good thing. It's certainly a treat. I've had my share of cones since I've been home. So yeah,
definitely. I know I'm gaining weight, but yeah, I'm doing self-care for myself also as well, because I have been going through a lot of stress with the COVID going on, dealing with my kids in school online, me online, and I can get very stressed out because I have to help them, and sometimes I'm not computer savvy. So sometime in my classes, I get confused. Like I had 7 assignments that I didn't turn in, and I was like, I didn't know how to look at the computer. But my professor, she gave me a chance to redo those, to do those assignments. So It has been stressful.
Yeah, and we totally understand that. You know, we're always in student services trying to find ways to, you know, improve our services and ensure that you have a network of people to, you know, throw that lifeline out to. Because, you know, now that we're disconnected, you know, and we're not physically in front of you, it's got to be difficult because you don't have another peer to kind of you know, bring those concerns to somebody, you know, outside of your home environment. And so that's why it's really important. If you do need to talk and you just want to share information, you know, we definitely are open to that. And so Tahita could forward I can forward my ear, put it in the chat box because there's cool resources out there for yourself. Yoga videos and stuff, you know, chair ones that you can even have your whole family do it with you together, which is cool and it's free. So certainly I want to find things for you that will help you along the way.
Thank
You
you.
said the classes are on Merit's website or Bradman's website?
So the website it's our program website on Merit's website. And
Okay.
I put it in the chat here and I can send it out also later.
Thank you.
So if anybody wants to open their mic, they can kind of tell us, you know, what was your best takeaway from today?
Mine was just learning that it's okay to tell people I'm not the source right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm carrying a lot of units this semester because I thought it would be convenient to do online.
Mm-hmm.
And so just to hear that, you know, usually I'm one of 6 kids, well, 5 alive. And so my parents call me to talk, my sisters call me to talk. Then I have my own 3 kids. So just hearing that it's okay to say I'm not the source right now. As a matter of fact, just what you said, that's what I'm going to use. Just saying like, I need someone to talk to right now, you know, so.
And that's some strong empowerment right there. So I just like, that's so neat because you're going to be able to share that with your children.
Yeah. So thank you for that, if nothing else. Sometimes you need permission. You know, you just need to hear someone else outside of you to say it's okay to be a little selfish right now.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go have that ice cream. Right?
Right. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thomas, you're quiet. How are you doing?
I am good. It's just my first time today. I'm listening to the lectures, and I'm really glad to know like where, how the Merit College do the growing of food and how they share it to the food banks and all that. I was listening to Brad, and I appreciate to know that. So since I'm new and recently moved here, I'm just getting to know everything around me. And thank you for that. Also, I was listening to your lecture too.
Good.
Thank you, Thomas. Glad to have you.
The thing that I'm taking away, I don't know if you can hear me because my mic normally has issues, but it's just a mixture of what you both said. I just ran part of the lake earlier and it felt really good to be out in nature. I took a picture of an interesting looking tree, like just enjoying the area without kids because this is my second year at Marriott and I graduated high school in 2004. So it's like everything is new all over again and just making sure that I'm taking time for myself because they're in school, I'm in school. It's just really crazy. So yeah.
That's good. That's good to know. I mean, because if you don't do it for yourself, like who else is going to do it, right? So taking time out is going to clear your head because it's going to affect your studies in a positive way. You have no idea.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, Maria. I always tell students the great thing about going outside and going into nature is it makes it easier to just stop and notice your own thoughts Because like there's usually just so much happening in your head that you're just like overwhelmed by all that noise. But when you go outside, it kind of recenters
Yeah.
you, and you can actually like pause. And there's like a lot of power in being able to actually mentally step outside of yourself and just kind of notice what's happening in your head, and just that process can really calm you down a lot. And kind of remind you that I always tell people you don't necessarily have control over your thoughts and your feelings initially, but you can always control how you respond to them. So if you have a
That is
thought that's
very true.
uncomfortable, right? You don't a thought comes in your head, it's uncomfortable, it's painful. You can't control that happening, but you can control what you're going to do about it. And that's the power that we all have to choose how we react in our behavior.
Yeah, and that's a lesson for your whole life. I'm telling my kids that all the time. So that's definitely a good point. Thank you.
So I'm gonna start calling people out just to do a check-in. Brianna, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Um, well, I do have a problem of not taking care of myself first. So I tend to take care of others, but based on my new situation, I can't really do half of everything, a lot of things that I used to do. So I'm trying to find ways around it. Like I can't go on walks, can't do too much of anything. So whatever I can do to enjoy stuff, then I do. But I do enjoy time with my family, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, I think having Zoom and being on lockdown a little bit, I want to say, has been very enlightening for many people because you don't have the touchy-feely access that you normally have. But if you create little Zoom sessions, like I said, for your family members, and you could see each other's faces, like attend a birthday party that you wish you could have attended, but they did a private one at home, and you could see and hear the laughter and the music and the celebration, that helps you bring some, calmness to you because you feel like you're part of that still, that you're not really missing that. And so if you want to, you could start your own little sessions for your family or the people who you love the most to say, hey, listen, I'm going to open a Zoom meeting and I want everybody to come to it. And it's just going to be our little time together where we could check in and share our ups and our downs and support each other. Maybe if you're focused on faith-based, you could read some scriptures that some people do. If they, like there's so many little things you could do to help eliminate some of the stress. So I'm really glad that you're making effort to do that for yourself right now, because it is challenging and you do have to like surround yourself with something positive, right?
Right.
Nazir, are you there? How about Kimberly?
I'm here.
How are we doing today?
I'm doing great.
What'd you think of the presentations?
I loved it. I really was like looking forward to listening to this presentation and being here. But I learned a lot because I'm a mother of 3. I'm 51 years old and I'm married. And sometimes my life can be stressful because everybody depends on me. And sometimes I don't have time to take care of myself. I'm busy taking care of my family and I really don't have no time to myself. I try to go places by myself and do things by myself just to get away from the family and to get away from the an environment that is not good. Like I have friends that call me and want to talk about their problems, and I'm like, I really have to study, or I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry you're going through this, but I have my own problems myself. But all I can tell you to do is get on your knees and pray to God and try to handle your problem. But I do try to be the voice of reason sometimes. But but it's too much for me. I can't, especially like when I'm in school. I can't because I can't study. It's like I'm thinking about them, and I'm like can't focus. So right now I tell people, hey, I'm studying, or I'll get back to you later. And when I'm comfortable and when I'm not too stressed, then I'll call them and I'll talk to them.
And remember, Kimberly, that if you're not feeling, centered and good, like it's harder for you to be a source of help to other people, right? So
that's true.
You have to be in a good place yourself to be able to help others.
That's true, and that's what I try to do. And because I'm like, I got my own issues. I can't help you. So it's like sometimes it can get hard, but then some people understand and some don't.
Well, I appreciate everybody for sharing. And I think it's, the more you talk about it, it gets a little easier for you to cope. But not talking about it is not healthy, because we're kind of keeping it, and it kind of builds up on your shoulders. And certainly, I know our faculty, administrators, and staff, we feel your pain, and we have our own pain too. And so we try to do things that will kind of improve our well-being also. And, my mom always used to say, don't have any stinking thinking, because you need to think positive. If you're going to get through life, you're going to have to, how they said, you made your, made your bed, now lay in it kind of comment. But more importantly is you can make that bed up to look really nice. So I think that, our focus today, on self-care, and then adding Brad's class for his natural sciences kind of blended together, because his class really kind of looks at like our future, our environment. Like if our environment is not healthy, like we're not going to be healthy. Like we have to change what we're doing. Like even the simple things of like eating healthy, and like eating less processed foods and eating more natural foods, not buying things that are always packaged, although that's what we can afford, and eating fast food. But to really like look at, even on your porch, some people are making little herb gardens, or, ways to plant things in their house so that they can, use in the kitchen and stuff. We may not have these really big kitchens and stuff, but certainly we have little potting plant containers that we can use. But I like everyone sharing, and I appreciate you guys a whole lot for like taking the lead and becoming our students part of the Merit family, which, we've all considered you guys that from the very beginning, from your onboarding all the way through to graduation. So certainly our staff and our departments really are very sensitive to your needs. So I commend you for your time.
Yes, thanks everybody. It's been a pleasure, and it's great to just hear what's going on in people's lives and know how we can support.
So Tahita, I know we're at 1:04. We're beyond our hour. I'm gonna, if it's okay, if you want to make some closing remarks, and then I'll play this video, and then everybody can kind of, leave on their own time. What do you think?
Sure, yeah. I've been in and out because I'm on another meeting. I'm on the ISIS meeting for accreditation at this particular point. So I've been hearing everything that you guys said. Let me mute this one. And I really appreciate you and Brad taking out the time to facilitate this workshop, to give these students this vital information that is imperative that they not only know, but are aware of these different, programs that we offer at Merit College, and that everything is not about academia. It's also about maintaining and maintenance of your emotional, psychological, well-being. So I really appreciate it. If students doesn't have any additional questions, we can close it out with any remarks that you guys would like. This video will be available on the website. It will be actually attached to the Umoja Sankofa webpage. You can go to Merritt College webpage and you can go back and refer to anything that you missed or you thought you had to remove yourself and you wasn't privy to. It'll also be on the student service page as well. It'll be slight edits in there because everything doesn't need to be posted. Just the information piece is more important to me. So no, I just want to thank you guys for facilitating this workshop and thank the students who took the time out their busy schedule because they could be anywhere virtually to participate in this workshop. And I thank you all very much. And I have a record of everyone who has attended. So thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Tahita.
Yeah, we'll appreciate the invitation, certainly. So, so the next video is a music little video that my daughter created again, but it was during a time where things weren't that great. You know, she had a lot on her plate, like a lot of the moms. And so she wrote this with the intention of sending a message about no worries, okay? So this one is for you to take to heart, to think about what we have, what we have to be thankful for. So I'm going to share my screen. I think it's this one. Let's see if I can go to the home again. And then I'm going to find her video. And then you could turn up your volume.
Rub my feet in the sun, let the sun toast the skin. Pop the lid of this bottle, yeah, Sunday's made for drinking. Got my boys cracking jokes, laughing season and these wounds. Take a dip in this water, let my problems sink like stones. I'm tired of stressing over bills. I'm so sick of being broke. I'll be more conscious how I spend my time because money comes and goes. No worries, yeah. My baby and my boy. I got a clear shot of what life will be, and it ain't money that brings foundation. Ain't no use to finding feet in your hand. Just pick up the pieces around you and start again. I know it's hard to hold your hand up high, but only good will ever come from patience. Ain't no use to finding feet in your hand. Just pick up the pieces around you and start again. I know it's hard to hold your hand up high, but only good will ever come from patience.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. So no worries, okay? You got this. You'll be able to manage and move forward with your studies. And so I wish you good luck. And until we have another workshop, right, Tahita?
Yes, thank you, Maria.
You have a good one. You guys have a
Bye-bye.
good week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. See you guys later. Email me if you need any additional support.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.